Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. First story. AITAH, for refusing to help my foster parents after they treated me like a servant. I, a 32-year-old female, grew up in foster care, and after bouncing between homes, I ended up with a couple when I was about 12. At first they seemed all right, but it didn't take long for me to realize that I wasn't really part of the family. From the day I moved in, I was treated more like a live-in maid than a daughter. They'd make me do all the cleaning, cooking, laundry, you name it. I was the one who scrubbed the floors, cooked their dinners, washed their clothes, even had to iron them to their standards. They didn't even let me have a normal childhood. No after-school activities, no hanging out with friends, and forget dating. I was always told, "You're needed at home," like I was just there to serve them. If I didn't do a good enough job or if I missed something, they'd punish me by giving me more chores, or they'd sometimes take food away. Emotionally, they were just cold. They never gave me advice, never helped me with school, and certainly never encouraged me to do better. When I wanted to apply for college, I had to figure it all out on my own. They didn't even help me with applications or support me in any way. I always felt alone in that house. But I worked my AITAH off to get out. I managed to go to college, get a good job in marketing, and now I'm doing really well for myself. I've moved on and tried to put it all behind me. A few weeks ago, though, I got a call from my old foster parents. They're struggling now, apparently in debt, and they said they need financial help. They expect me to take care of them because they raised me. I was furious. I told them after the way they treated me, they have no right to ask for anything. I owe them nothing. They got super upset, calling me ungrateful, selfish, and saying that all the tough love they gave me made me who I am today. They're even telling my foster siblings, who they treated way better by the way, that I'm heartless for abandoning them. And now my foster siblings are piling on, saying I should help them out and that I'm holding on to the past too much. I don't know. I don't think I owe them anything, but maybe I'm being too harsh. Am I the a-hole? Story 2. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother's fiancée wear her late mother's wedding dress at my wedding? So I, a 28-year-old female, am getting married in 2 months, and I've planned every detail down to the last flower petal. It's my dream wedding, and I've been saving and planning for years. Here's where things get tricky. My younger brother, a 26-year-old male, is engaged to his fiancée, Emma, a 24-year-old female, and she recently lost her mum in a tragic accident. Emma and I have always gotten along fine, but we're not super close. Anyway, her mum had a very beautiful, expensive wedding dress that Emma inherited, and it means a lot to her. A few days ago, Emma came to me in tears asking if she could wear her late mum's wedding dress to my wedding as a guest. I was shocked because this felt off. Like, I totally understand that she wants to honor her mum, but I just feel like a wedding dress at someone else's wedding is not the time or place, especially since she knows I have a very specific theme, color palette, and vibe for my day. I told her gently that I didn't think it was appropriate, and she started crying, saying it was the only way she felt her mum could be with her during a major family event. She said she'd never get to see her mum at her own wedding, and wearing the dress felt like a way to keep that connection. I felt for her, but I held firm that my wedding wasn't the right time for that. Well, now my brother is furious with me, saying I'm heartless and selfish, and a bunch of family members have started to take sides. Some say Emma's request is deeply sentimental and that I'm being too rigid about wedding rules, while others agree that it's weird for a guest to wear a wedding dress at someone else's wedding. Emma hasn't spoken to me since, and my brother says they're considering not coming to the wedding at all unless I change my mind. My fiancé is supportive of me, but I'm starting to feel guilty because I know this is tied to grief, and I don't want to be the bad guy. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let her wear her late mother's wedding dress to my wedding? Am I the a-hole for telling my mum why none of her 5 boys have given her grandkids? I'm the youngest of 5 boys. When I was 13, my mum and biological dad split. My oldest brother went to stay with my aunt. The rest of us went to stay with my grandma while our parents tried to find happiness. Dad completely fell off the face of the earth after about 4-ish years. I think he talks to my oldest brother every so often. My mum got her own place a few miles away from my grandma. She visited often and even spent the night every now and then. So, the twins only stayed for like a year, then went and joined the Navy. The brother between the twins and I stayed for 2 years, then met a girl, went to college, and they got married. Then there was me. 13 to 18, I lived with my grandma and was almost completely alone for 2 years out in the middle of nowhere. I loved my grandma, but there was only so much an 80-year-old woman and a teenage boy could talk about. I felt abandoned. Fast forward, I finished high school, went to college. Did the whole shebang. We're all adults now, doing our thing. Well, my mum is always like, why won't any of you give me grandchildren? First of all, I'm gay. But she even asked me if I'll find a nice man, settle down and adopt. But my other brothers are straight. None of them have or want kids. So, the conversation got intense, and she was being very dramatic. So, I said it. I said what was on everyone's mind. Mum, I think none of us want kids because of how you and Dad left us with Grandma, because you both deserve to be happy. I'm glad you found your happiness. But I would never do such a thing to a child, especially if I had the means to take care of them. It scares me that I could possibly wake up one day and think differently, that I could wake up, tell my kids to pack their stuff. I'm taking you to Grandma's where you're going to live from now on, even though your father and I are perfectly capable of taking care of you. She cried, a lot, but I couldn't take the "where are my grandkids" conversation anymore. I could not listen to her bring that up one more time. I did feel terrible, and we haven't talked in like 2 weeks. I'm not sure what to think. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I won't be her surrogate? Excuse my errors and etiquette. I'm not a frequent user of Reddit. My friend suggested I use her throwaway account to make this post, so please be gentle with me, as much as strangers on the internet can be. I, Celeste, 30, have an identical twin sister. We'll call her Stacy for the sake of the story. Our mother unfortunately passed in child labor, and we were raised by our father. Stacy has been married to Jeff for 8 years. I have been in a relationship with Mike for 3 years now. One thing I've always known about my sister is that she wanted to be a mum. Even when we were children, she was always thinking about wedding ideas, nursery themes, baby names, etc. I was always more focused on books and having fun. I'm now a flight attendant, and I am also attempting to become a published author. My sister has not worked ever, honestly. When we graduated high school, we went straight to college. She met her boyfriend in college, and once she graduated, she became a stay-at-home girlfriend until she became his wife. I have known for a while that my sister has been attempting to become pregnant unsuccessfully. She has experienced a single miscarriage and has been unable to become pregnant again after thousands and thousands of dollars being spent on IVF and pretty much anything they could do because she wanted to experience pregnancy. After 5 years of no success, they have started to discuss other options. My sister isn't interested in adoption and is very adamant on having a child that has both of their DNA. Her words, not mine. About 3 weeks ago, she came to my house and we were hanging out as we usually do, just chatting and watching Modern Family. She told me she had a serious question and needed to ask me while she still had her nerves. It scared me, but she asked if I could be her surrogate. I was frozen for a second and asked what she meant. She told me that I know what a surrogate was. She needed me to be her surrogate. I expressed that she knew that I wasn't interested in having children. This could definitely be due to how we came into the world, but I'll be honest and say I have never found the thought of having children appealing in any way. I told her that I would have zero issue with donating my eggs to her. However many she needed, she could have them all, but I could not carry her child. Upon hearing that, she became so angry. Her face was so red, and she was just yelling about how it's obvious how jealous and hateful I am because this is a small task. I didn't want to bring it to her attention that she has always spoken about having more than 4 kids. Would the expectation be for me to do this every time? I don't know. I'm starting to feel so bad. She ended up telling me that if I couldn't do this one thing for her, how could I ever call myself her sister? She broke a picture of us I have sitting on my mantle and stormed out. Since then, she's only texted me pictures of her diaries from when we were kids and all of their vision boards, saying that I'm stopping her from creating a family for no reason and to think about the bigger picture. My boyfriend refuses to give me advice, saying that it's my sister and he doesn't feel comfortable attempting to sway me in either direction because it's such a touchy subject. Honestly, this is the longest I've ever gone without communicating with my sister, and I'm seriously on the verge of giving in. TLDR. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to be a surrogate for my identical twin sister?